What's up, people? Mike here, and this is Batman Arkham Knight, New Game Plus. So after we've made it so that we can drive the Batmobile inside the hell cloud that the cloudburst unleashed, we have to go and find another plant. We get to this cemetery and I'm being a complete asshole and destroying all the tombs and everything, or all the gravestones and everything else. And lo and behold, we can't actually access it, so we have to go and find another way of getting underneath the ground. And when you come into this place, you have a very large firefight with a bunch of tanks and some like drone helicopters, I believe. I don't remember the exact number of how many you actually get attacked by, since the actual number doesn't show up on the screen. I kinda am in the assumption that it's around like 40 or so tanks and those helicopters. These little Predator helicopters are really annoying, since they have a lot of mobility, and trying to shoot at them while also avoiding getting shot by the other tanks can be kind of annoying at times. And that was me kind of wasting that missile attack, since I should have tried to wait until I had more tanks on my screen. But once all those are done, and we have to make a pretty easy jump here. You want to try and be somewhat far back so you can get enough boost. The annoying thing is that you jump right into another tank battle, and this one isn't too bad, since you have a little bit more room to put things in your path of the tanks, so that you can like reload your cannon and have more time to prepare and focus on like where the next tank is and take it out. And I don't use the hacking device on these tanks as much as I should be, and I end up using it later, I believe, in the GCPD tank battle, where you have like 60 tanks and helicopters coming at you. You want to use the hacking device on like the Diamondbacks, since they have like the twin-headed rocket launchers or whatever, and they can do a shitload of damage for you. But once we clear all that out, so this is when the game kind of introduces you to these tunnels that you kind of have to ride the wall. It's kind of preparing you for the cloud, the Arkham Knight drill section later in the game, when you need to like go halfway up a side of a tunnel to get by some obstacles and whatnot. And this is me trying to get away from the fucking Batmobile, and I keep jumping back in. I don't know why that happens. Like, it's so annoying at times. And so these are the what is it, the I forget the name of the gun. There's an upgrade where you can use it on these tanks, and even like some of the drones, where just like when you shoot one of the guns and they go to fire and it malfunctions, it works the same way on the tanks, where they go to shoot you and it'll just like blow up. And so I'm kind of standing here because I'm not sure if he's moved forward or not, but by the time he did start to move, I already made the jump to the structure. You don't need to crash through that window. I did just for the fun of it, really. That was me missing my shot with this thing. For the most part, except for that one that kind of moves back and forth, I don't believe any of these other tanks will actually move forward. They just kind of sit here. So you can very easily just like strafe away from them whenever they go to shoot at you. So, and see, like there, no problem, got right out of the Batmobile, no issue of constantly jumping back into it. So I really don't know what the deal is with that whole thing, but and then these are one of these moments where you need to set up this this ramp so you can jump it. I go back to the Batmobile, but you can also just get the remote control of the car and just drive this up on there and then get into the Batmobile. I kind of, after I did that, I kind of realized I could have just used the remote control for it and then got into it afterwards. So this is another one of the points where they're, you know, getting you familiar with driving up the sides of these tunnels so that you can get by some obstacles. And this is me getting kind of stuck, but not really, because I'm able to move. But I believe it's when you get, when you get to here, you start to get close to the tree. This is the one when it's better to use the remote control option with the Batmobile, so you're just not going back and forth between this whole water structure here. And mainly because you kind of need to stay at this control panel. Like I'm starting to go back, and then I'm like, oh wait a minute, I should stay over here so I'm not running back and forth. Since you need to have this thing drop down so that then you can switch out of control and lock the ramp in place so that it doesn't fall back down. And again, I should have just switched back to the remote control of the Batmobile and just drove it over here, but for some reason I decided to actually go back over and get into the Batmobile. I'm not really sure why I did that, but
Master Bruce, my sincerest apologies, but my search for the Arkham Knight's identity has proved fruitless. Nothing? I have a short list of candidates we cannot fully eliminate.
but once
No, I have no light.
you get through there,
Hugo Strange had ulterior motives. Quincy Sharp was unstable.
this is pretty much when you can
Looking to finish their work.
Exactly.
search for where the roots are of the plant. And when you kind of get to this point, I ended up making a wrong turn, and I ended up below where you need to be to summon the plant. You like the whole like layout of this area is kind of confusing, like where you have to go. But
It feels weaker. You must be further away.
but you just kind of have to go through this whole area, and it brings you to pretty much like where you need to be. And then once we summon the tree, we have a cutscene that we skip, and then we basically have to protect Ivy again in this in the cemetery. And because Ivy with the plant was able to clear out some of the toxin, we can actually see like how many tanks and whatnot we're dealing with. So we start out with 40 between the tanks and the drone helicopter things. Coming into this battle, you want to try and have a full rocket special, so that you can unleash all of it literally at the start of this battle and take out, depending on how many you successfully lock on, and there isn't like a structure in front of them, you can take out at least 5 to 10 of them if you're lucky. So amazingly, for this whole section between this and then when you deal with the Arkham Knight's Cloudburst tank, I managed to get through this whole thing without dying. Amazingly, considering that the first time I went through this on normal, I died in this part alone like 5 times, to the point that after I finished it, I almost didn't want to do New Game Plus immediately, just because I hated this section the first time. But amazingly, like I said, like I did this, and then when you have to deal with the Arkham Knight and the Cobra tanks with him, I managed to get through it without dying once. Even though at the end of this battle I have like literally a sliver of health. Like if I took one more rocket, I would have been dead. But at this point I only have one tank left, and he's kind of hiding somewhere. But once you finish them off, then we'll be dealing with the Arkham Knight.
go down.